Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to Livin Like a G. I just started this podcast, and one of my very first guests is my cousin Micah.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Hey, everybody.
And I brought Micah on because she's got a lot of the details of what this G was like as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Growing up. She's got all the dirty deeds. Hopefully she doesn't expose me too much. There are some things that my parents still don't know about, so let's keep those stories under wraps. But yeah, I just thought it would be cool to just have a podcast and just, I don't know, just bring my friends and family on and have a great time. So what I want to know to kick this whole thing off is, what was I like as a kid from your perspective?
Okay. How much time do I have now?
Right. Which I'll give this little fact for everybody. In our family, we have a big group of cousins, like the majority of us, that were all kind of born within a decade of each other.
Yeah.
And I was the youngest out of that group.
Yep.
Then about 10 or 15 years later, my Aunt Carlene had kids, and they were much later, so they were more ended up being with the cousins who were having cousins in terms of age group. Mm-hmm. But out of the main portion of us, I am the youngest. So Okay, so now go from there. Hopefully I wasn't too annoying.
Okay, so even though she was the littlest out of our group, she was one of the loudest for sure. And
still
it's funny,
to this day.
like as soon as she asked me, like, what is your memory of me as a kid? The first thing that comes to my mind is loud. I don't know why. I do associate that with you. Like,
in my defense, Cardiff is louder. Cardiff is the loudest.
He is loud, yes. Yeah, but you just were never quiet. You always had a lot of energy. You were always down to have fun and like do whatever. Like, you'd be out playing basketball, but then you could also like work on Beyonce choreography with me. Right. Like, you know, just the whole gamut. Right. But always down for a good time and lots of energy, just lots of volume.
Right.
And then as you got older, I became to know you like as a friend.
Right.
And still to this day, you're one of my closest friends.
Yeah, exactly.
And I will say that you're the very loyal person. I think any of your friends would probably say this about you, that they know like you'll do anything for them and you'll always be there for them. And you're very kind and caring, even though like exterior wise you might think not. Like you're not like all heart, like as far as like mushy gushy, whatever. Yeah. Although I've managed to get her to cry many times. At many movies. I know how to pick them, let me tell you.
Oh my gosh, hold on. We have to talk about this. Okay, hold on. I'm bringing up this story from my perspective, okay? So, Micah knows, like Micah said, I don't really like crying. There's been traumatizing things that have happened in my life already. I don't need more trauma that I've brought on to myself, okay? So, I don't like movies that make me cry. I don't like TV shows that really make me cry. The only one that, as I've matured, and I've allowed myself become more vulnerable, I've let myself watch Grey's Anatomy, and I cry probably almost every other episode now. But back in the day, I was like real like baddie with it. Like I was like, I don't like crying. I don't want to go to a movie. I like funny movies, action movies, whatever. Right. So Micah already knows this about me. Okay, she already knows how I feel about this, okay? Yeah. And we used to go to the movies a lot. We had some friends that worked there. They would get us in for free, so we would go all the time. And Micah's like, like we should go see a movie. And I'm like, oh, okay. Which one do you want to see? And she's like, well, I really want to see My Sister's Keeper. And I was like, oh, what's that one about? Wasn't that like the black comedy one? And she goes, it's got some funny parts. That's what she says. She leads me in with, it has some funny parts, okay? So I'm thinking, cool, this is going to be a movie that I like. I show up. The first scene is this 16-year-old girl throwing up from cancer. And I'm like, what the heck have you dragged me to? So we're watching
It was
this.
so good,
Oh
though.
my God.
It was such a good movie.
We're watching this movie, and I'm like halfway in, and I have managed to keep it together. I'm like, you are not going to cry. Like, you keep it together. Like, inside, I'm like, you don't cry. Then all of a sudden in the movie, you know, she gets involved with some boyfriend who's also sick, and they do stuff together, and he doesn't call her back, and she's like, why isn't he calling me back? Blah, 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 blah. Come to find out, he dies.
Yeah.
Done. I was done. I am sobbing my eyes out for the next hour of that movie.
Yeah.
I am so upset. Cannot seem to get it under control. And then the movie ends, and I'm like, Mike, I'm so mad at you. And as I say that to her, there's a guy in the back that's like, it was just so sad. A straight up dude. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
Oh my God.
That's so funny.
Then we leave the theater, and I'm like, I feel spent. I
Yeah.
can't do anything for the rest of this day.
Yeah, there's been a few tear jerkers that I've drug you into.
Ugh.
For sure. And then I remember Hunger Games.
Oh my God.
And I didn't know they were going to have like beasts like that, but they had these creatures that looked very wolf-like.
Oh.
And if you don't know, Geena has a legit fear of wolves.
I do not like wolves. I mean, I respect them for the animal that they are, but I literally, if you caught me in Alaska, I would be scared for my life. My worst fear is to be ripped limb by limb by a pack of wolves. Like, straight up, that's my biggest fear.
So I remember you being so terrified through that movie. It was so funny.
That movie
I love it.
is... I still love that movie.
Yeah,
Love
it was a
Jennifer
good one.
Lawrence. I mean, J-Law is like... I think we would be friends in hopefully this life.
Yeah.
But golly, yeah, I really don't like crying at all. It's just like, I feel like it upsets my day. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why, like, when I watch Grey's Anatomy, I watch it at night, because the day's over. There's no, like, having to fight that I was emotional.
You just cry yourself to sleep.
Yeah. I mean, what so true. Oh my gosh. You know what ended up changing that aspect for me was, I don't know if you've ever watched this, the Brené Brown video talking about vulnerability.
Yes.
Okay, so the very first one she released,
Daring
right?
Greatly is her
Yes.
book, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Daring Greatly is her book, yes. And she's literally, the video is like one of the first TED Talks ever.
Mm-hmm.
She's in this like, sorry, Brené, but you're in this terrible all brown outfit.
Yeah.
You know, and our my songwriting teacher from this program I went to, the CMC, the very first day we got there, he showed us that 20-minute long video, TED Talk. And she talked about her experience and how she was going to beat back vulnerability with her yardstick. And then she comes to realize that you can do those things, but you will never experience, although you'll be beating back the things of pain and hurt and all of that stuff. But if you beat those things back, you're also beating back to being able to experience love, grace, mercy at such a great magnitude.
Yeah.
And he continued from that and said, you can always be a good writer, but you'll never be a great one if you're not vulnerable. And me
True.
being the competitor that I am, I was like, what do you mean? This thing that I hate so much is going to prevent me from being great?
Yeah.
And then that started my process of trying to become more vulnerable and all these things. And now I cry at Grey's Anatomy, and it makes me mad every single time. I'll be watching, literally I'm rewatching the seasons right now. And what was the episode that got me? I can't remember. But the one that always gets me, the one that like, if you haven't watched Grey's Anatomy, close your ears like for the next 30 seconds. When Derek dies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You go through a period of mourning. Time after that. Yeah, for sure.
Mourning.
For sure.
I think I wore black for a week.
Yeah.
Like, I was
bad.
so upset.
Yep.
So upset. And you're the one that got me into Grey's Anatomy.
Yep. You're welcome.
you're every time I'm crying myself
And
to
now
sleep.
it's like, I want to get out and I can't.
Right, exactly. So Micah's had like, she's been there since the beginning, right? She's been with me since birth.
Literally.
And one of the fun facts that a lot of people don't realize, because a lot of you know that I was on American Idol, top 40, got cut, low-key salty about it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not salty about it. But what you guys don't realize is actually Micah and I tried out for American Idol when I was 16. How old were you?
Probably 19.
19? How
20?
far apart are we?
I'm 31.
31. I'm 28, so 3 years apart.
Yeah,
So
19.
Yeah. So we tried out for American Idol together.
Mm-hmm.
How long ago was that? That would be 2008? Sometime
Something like
around
that.
there.
Yeah.
And this was still with Paula, Randy, and Simon. I think still the OG ones. And we actually had to go through the normal process of American Idol. And the normal process of American Idol is you show up to like a big stadium. For us, it was the Rose Bowl, USC Stadium. And you stand in line, you register the day before, you stand in line, you're in the freaking hot sun for hours. We were in the sun, I mean, we were there at what, like 4:30 in the morning? It was dark outside when we showed up.
Yeah. And it was dark when we left.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, we were there for 12 plus hours, right?
For sure.
So, yeah, why don't you start the story? You start the story. I want to hear your perspective, and then I'll share what my perspective was.
Okay.
But anyways, all that to be said, I tried out. We tried out together on American Idol before what everybody knows me to be on American Idol now. And we did the OG process. The process that I had to do this last time, I got to skip a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you go first.
So, we got some matching outfits.
Yes, we did. Which we're going to post a picture of.
Yeah, we'll post a picture of that. And I'm sure that'll explain itself. Mm-hmm. But we, decorated our shirts, got our matching outfits, and decided that we would do a duet. Mm-hmm. So we did actually the national anthem, Destiny's Child version.
The child version, let's go.
I still think was pretty tight.
Dude, that version is so good. I mean, we were one person short for the harmonies, but nonetheless,
we did it justice.
We did it justice.
Yeah.
We did it real justice.
So yeah, we're like waiting in the sun in this stadium all day long.
Dude, it was hot.
I remember the sunburn I got that day. You probably, with your olive skin, didn't get it as bad
I don't think
as
I got it as bad.
my
did
ghostly
get a little burnt.
skin.
Yeah. You and my mom. Remember
and
my
Kate.
mom? Oh, Kate was with us?
Wasn't Kate there that time?
No.
No, she went with me the other time.
No. Kate wasn't there. It was me, you, and my mom. Remember my mom convinced the guy to sneak us under the rope? Remember she somehow got under the rope in the
Oh, I don't remember that.
So we walked up, right? We had parked or whatever. We walked up and there's 30,000 people all in line. And we were like, we're going to have to go to the back of this line. And somehow my mom finagled.
Oh my
She
gosh.
acted like somebody in the front was like her daughter or something. Wow. And then when we walked up, she was like, oh yeah, come over here. And they didn't say anything.
Oh my goodness. That sounds like your mom.
We jumped like 20,000 people ahead of the line. It was
funny.
crazy. Yeah.
Well, sorry about that.
Yeah. But sorry, not sorry.
So, we get to our point like in the afternoon. We're exhausted and hot and sunburnt. And we get to the point where they finally call you down onto the field to do your audition. And basically they have you in like, I think it was 4 rows of 4. Okay. So like groups of 16 in front of it, like an easy up, with one judge.
And there's like 16
there.
easy ups all lined up.
Right next to each other.
So you're hearing like hundreds of people around you singing while you're trying to remember
same time.
Your key, your song, the harmony parts, everything. It was craziness.
So you wait in your row, and so me and Geena are standing there next to each other and waiting for our row to be called up, and one by one, that row would step forward, and he would just go down the line and let you sing for like 10, 15 seconds.
Oh, he was literally like,
and then the next.
He was like, go.
Okay, go.
Yep. Nope.
And then he would tell the whole line, okay, thank you, goodbye.
Right. Or like you're going through or whatever. Our row sucked it up Although you and I were great, he did pause on us for a long time.
Yep. And he let you sing another song by yourself,
Well,
right?
I think you sang another song too. We both sang.
I don't know.
Yeah, we both got
You're
to sing.
being kind, but I don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure. No, I remember. He had us
Okay.
sing together and then wanted to see what us sounded separately. Oh, what did I sing? Oh, I think I sang
Yeah, I don't even
Because
know.
of Who You Are, I Give
Wow.
You Glory. I'm pretty sure I sang that. Because I was like, at that point in my life,
And he
I was
passed
like,
that up.
Right. I did, I remember being like, I'm going to choose a Christian song because, like, I want to represent the Lord. I'll sing secular songs after I get through the round, but, like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous, my thinking back then. But, yes. And you sang, I can't remember what you sang.
I don't know.
Dang. I wish I could
I don't
remember it.
know.
But, yeah, we both sang. And then he looked at us for a while. He was like looking at us, like trying to figure it out. And then he was like, "I'm sorry, you guys just aren't what we're looking for in American Idol." And it was, I don't know about you, but it felt very anticlimactic.
Yep.
Like we had been there all day just to get a second, and it was just all in a minute and a half done.
Yeah, and you see very few people get in throughout the day.
Yes. Because this is,
Very
this is the first round.
Yeah.
So this
and
is...
you're talking about thousands and thousands of people in the stadium.
Yes. This was not the round where you, like, if we would have gotten through that round, gone to Paula, Randy, and Simon. This is like the first round out of 4 before you even get to Paula, Randy, and Simon. So just keep in mind, like, there's like 40,000 people all trying out, and they're trying to get everybody done in one day. It's insanity.
Yeah.
It's just a lot. It was hot. I mean, the sun. We had where we were sitting. It was like the sun was straight on with us.
No
do you remember?
shade.
Do you remember the song we sang that they had us all sing in unison and they did a video? Do you remember?
I remember.
I remember what it is. Little trivia. No, try to see if you can remember.
Oh man, I don't know.
I'll give you a hint. It's like a pop rock song.
Dude, I don't know.
So what? I'm still a rock star. I got my rock moves. You remember?
Yeah, I do remember that now.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And having like literally 40,000 people all singing together. There's some memories that are good.
Yeah.
Good.
No, it's a good memory. I don't regret it at all. I think it was still a fun day and we made the most of it.
Yeah. And I think it's a good memory, for the both of us. What's crazy, I don't think I've ever told you this, is you and I have talked about, I think before, like, we're about to get religious, but like having dreams and those dreams coming to fruition in like real life, right? And for us, that would be like the Lord giving us some insight or some premonition to what is happening in our future. Like you've talked about like with your kids, like you're like, I knew this, and this about my kids, right? And you were like, I had to try to convince my husband, but then it all happened and it was like proof, you know?
Yep.
But with American Idol, about, I want to say about 6 years before. So I was 10, okay?
Okay.
I had this dream that I was getting off the highway. It was dark, okay? And I was in the passenger seat and somebody was driving. I didn't know who was driving. But I was singing with that person. And I get off the highway and I have my shoes off and my feet are on the dash and the dashboard was tan and there was a blue car in front of us and we're stopped waiting for the light to go. And I was like, that's such an interesting dream. Well, flash forward 6 years, that was us getting off the highway, going to American Idol, the audition. Because remember, it wasn't nighttime. It was nighttime, but it was in the morning. Yes. And it was like 4:30 in the morning. You still had your Toyota Camry, which was tan.
Yep.
And the car in front of us was blue.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Dude, I remember sitting there, and I think I told you when we were in the car, but like obviously that's so long ago.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is weird. There's some dreams, though, that I have that I'm like, please, God, don't let this come to fruition. Yeah. Like, Lord, please just let this be some weird dream because I ate, like, freaking spinach or something. Like, you know what I mean? But that dream is super crazy. And it's really weird. Like, let's see, how far would that be? When I did American Idol, that was like 11 years afterwards. So 11 years later, I end up on the show.
Yeah.
And it's like, what in the heck? What was your experience of seeing that? I end up on the show 11 years later. Like, what's your thought on that?
Well, obviously I was super excited for you and just excited that you got that opportunity. And, you know, I was already by then a skeptic of the show in general, unfortunately.
Right.
So I didn't like have necessarily faith that it would be like the thing that
totally.
makes you go huge, you know, whatever, or even that it would be the best route for that to happen.
Sure.
From what I've seen, but I was excited just for the exposure you're going to get and the opportunity to work with some of those people and the great memories that you would make and everything, and just being able to sit back and watch you on TV.
I know.
After all those years, like,
so crazy.
So cool.
What was always crazy to me is, like, when I think back to my audition, so that whole audition process happened with literally, like, less than 48 hours for me.
Crazy.
So I had to get all these things together. And when I finally got to the judges, I was, like, one of the first ones to audition that morning. I think I was 5th. So I was, like, fresh out. Was I 5th? No, I think I was less. I think I was 7th. And what had happened is the first 6 people in front of me, they had all given golden tickets to. So they were looking to give a no.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, frick, why'd I have to be 7th? Why couldn't I have been 3rd? You know what I mean? Whatever. So, and I remember showing up and being like, telling myself, this is just another show. Mm-hmm. This is just another show like you would at Hotel Cafe or Peppermint or like whatever. And you just got to do what you normally do, right? So I go in and I sing an original, which is already like, you know, risky.
Yeah.
And then the part in the song comes that I usually get the audience to sing along with me, and I was like, hey, do you guys want to sing with me? To these 3 people who are like the biggest artists in the industry. I was not thinking at that level. Now when I think back, I'm like, you're freaking nuts. Like, what in your right mind possessed you to think that, you know what, I'm going to get these really big artists to sing my song back to me. Yeah. Like, what in the heck? Like, thinking back, I'm like, what was I thinking? And I think it's just I didn't have enough time to really think anything. So then this really natural kind of thing happened, which ended up working in my favor. But I remember walking away and thinking like, they probably won't air my episode. And then I get the text, you know, months later that they're going to air my episode. And I'm like, man, I'm like really thinking like, why are they airing my episode? Like, I don't remember it being like that notable or whatever. And I'm watching it back and I'm like, oh my God, I got them to sing my song. Yeah. Katy Perry harmonized on one of my songs. Like, what in the heck? It was crazy.
So cool.
It was super cool, but like super just like nuts. And I'm glad it's like documented because I just think that that's a cool moment to have for like the rest of your life.
Yeah, definitely.
Katy Perry, if you still want that song, please let me know because I think you would crush it. Okay.
And to hear like Lionel Richie compliment your songwriting skills.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy too. I forgot about that.
Cool.
Yeah, and Lionel Richie's such a gem. First of all, he is like the gem out of those 3. Not to say anything bad about the other 3, but he really like would go out of his way to like give everybody, all the contestants like words of wisdom, things about the industry. Like he was always on the out of the panel, he was always on the end. So he would turn his chair around and then he would just be like, when I was, and then would go on some story that would just drop so much wisdom about,
cool.
What was the one thing that he said? He said, I think the gist of it was something along the lines of artists are ego-hungry maniacs that have a superiority complex or something like that. Basically, you're saying you're this ego-hungry person, but that's also the most insecure person in the world. And I'm like, that is very valid. I'm not saying that's me. I'm just saying that that's a lot of other artists I know.
Other people.
Yeah, not for me. But he just talked about a lot of wisdom, and one of the things that I really appreciated about him too is that he didn't play into the show. Like he didn't he always said what he felt and wanted to say and didn't let the show and the context of what he was supposed to say on the show determine how he was going to speak.
Yeah.
And I just really appreciated that about him. And
that's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, there's definitely, obviously, like I wish I would have moved on further in the show. Like, as you get into the show, like, you always want to go a little further because you're like, oh, I actually can see I can do some stuff. But I think everything happens in the right way, right? Like, I didn't have to be signed into a contract. I got some exposure and met some people that I still work and love working with today. That really, honestly, have changed a lot of my success. Like, I've done a lot of videos with a lot of those youngin people on American Idol. I mean, they're like little young influencers, and for some reason they just like really liked hanging out with me, and I liked hanging out with them, and we just like made a bunch of videos together, and like that really helped move me forward. And it was organic. It wasn't like I was trying to push them to do videos with me. We were just like, we both love music, and cool, let's do some harmonies together, and like ended up working out. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
So it was super cool. What is your first memory of us singing? Or what's your first memory of me singing? I'll try to think of my first memory of you singing.
Okay.
And then maybe we try to think of a memory of us together singing. I know the one together. Okay. I'll start with that since I know that one. The memory of us singing together was, I remember when TPC in the OG days where we were in Chino by the movie theater.
Yes.
Okay. My first memory of us like harmonizing and singing together was when we were in the youth group. We had that small little stage in the corner. Remember, with the windows behind it?
Yep.
And me having to harmonize with you for worship on like a Wednesday night.
Yep.
I think that's one of my very, very first memories.
I can think of earlier than that, though.
Are you going to bring up Christmas? Because I was thinking about Christmas, too.
No.
Okay.
I was actually thinking of, there was a lady in our church that put together this little group. Right?
Redhead lady.
Yes.
Yes, I remember her.
Danielle?
God, what's her name? Danielle sounds pretty good.
Let's go with Danielle.
Danny. We're going to call her Danny. Watch she like comment on this video and be like, my name's Teresa. You're like,
poor lady like spends so much time with us.
Oh, I feel bad. I was young enough, so I have an excuse. You're right. I know exactly what you're talking about. Keep
she
going.
put together a group of like a couple of us young girls that she wanted to kind of like do vocal training with us and coach us along and kind of train the next generation of worship leaders and stuff. So we would like do little performances of like little songs here and there at church. And there's probably like 5 or 6 of us that would get up there and do this. And we would have like our matching outfits planned out and whatnot. But I remember that very, very young.
I remember being so sick for one of those performances.
Really?
I had strep throat really bad. Aunt Corrine made me some like tea concoction in the front row, you know, when she came down for the holidays, because it was like a holiday performance. Somehow mustered through, probably because I had you, Kate, and who am I thinking of that also?
Chelsea Galindo.
Oh my God. First of all, I just texted Chelsea Galindo like a couple days ago.
I can't forget
It was
about
her birthday. Happy birthday, Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea Galindo, but who was oh my God, why am I blanking? Trisha Hidalgo. I think she was a part of it at some point.
Yeah.
Mikey always played drums, but
yeah.
So it's this is such a throwback. Oh man,
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's so weird for me sometimes. I still think of TPC, which for you guys that don't know, Turning Point Church. That's the church we grew up in, still around today. Now they're in Norco. They have their own like campus and church. Please check them out. But I still, when I think of TPC, I think of it as that building.
Yeah.
Do you think of it like that still or no?
No, I don't still, but we had so many memories there.
So many.
Yeah.
Even like I think about like what that stage looked like. Remember how big that stage was? And we had like conga players and like all this stuff. Church like really develops musicians and creatives.
It's a great place to hone in on your skills.
Yeah. Like I even forgot that lady, I'm sorry I forgot about you, but that Danielle, whatever we called her, that she even like cultivated that.
Yeah.
Totally forgot.
Well, because we just had so many people that were bringing us along like that.
Yeah.
You know, so many different. I mean, every worship leader there, I can remember working with me and helping me and pulling me through. You know, it's just a great atmosphere to be involved in when you're coming up.
I'm thinking of like some funny worship moments right now, like
funny
worship moments. So we grew up in a charismatic church, right? So very spirit led. Sometimes you got to keep on your toes, okay, to say the least. But I remember we were at the when we were in that transition like school period, and I remember Kenesha was leading worship. Kenesha was always the wild card. You didn't know like what was gonna happen when Kenesha led worship. It was always great, but like you knew at some point somebody was speaking in tongues. Like something was going down, right? And dude, I remember one time, I don't even know what song it was, but she was feeling it. And she just started going off in the spirit. And the whole church like erupted.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really, I just remember, I just think back to those moments and just like, it's church humor. If you don't get church humor, then you probably won't understand that. You'll probably be like freaking out and think it's like something scary, but it's very normal in church.
Yeah.
Especially in a charismatic church. But man, she would be going in sometimes. She'd be like tearing down strongholds,
She's amazing.
All kinds of stuff. But, okay, so wait, let's continue with the memory. What's your first memory of me? Is that the first memory of me singing? What's your first memory of me singing?
So what actually came to my mind is that I remember as a little kid, like being amazed that you knew every commercial jingle.
Oh my God.
And every like theme song for every show, like anytime, you know.
I remember this being a thing.
And actually there's not as many jingles nowadays as there used to be.
Yeah.
But back when we were young, like really young, like every commercial was a jingle.
Everything.
Like ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Right. There was always something like that in every commercial. Yeah. And you knew every single one. And I remember like you must have been young.
Yeah.
Young. Like I'm talking like 4 maybe. Mm-hmm. And you would start singing along to everything and I'm like,
what the heck?
Looking at you like, what?
800 588 2300 Empire today. Like, I still remember all of those.
You've always had a really good memory.
Yes.
So I think that helps. But obviously you're very musically inclined, so even more so with music. But I remember that being amazing to see as a young
Well, to me,
girl.
It was our family, too. Like Micah said, definitely one of the loudest out of all the cousins, right? For sure. Cardiff beats me. I'm going to hold to that. but in our family is so big. And I know people, when I say family, like people are thinking immediate family, but like us as cousins are so close. We all lived next to each other. Like I for a good portion of my life, like lived one street over from Micah, like literally like half a mile from where you guys were. So I would be at your guys' house for a majority of the summer, Uncle Kyle's house, a majority of the summer. So we were just all really close, and we're all really competitive. So if you wanted to be heard, or if you wanted to be the best, you had to outbeat everyone else. Yeah. And I was the youngest, so I had probably the most to prove, because everybody was, you know, all my cousins were leading worship or playing an instrument or something. And so I was like, well, how am I going to stand out? Like, I got to, you know.
You had like sibling rivalry with your cousins.
Facts. Well, and I also was an only child for most of my life. So, like, you know, I just, my cousins became my siblings, and I, you know, sometimes you're like, well, do like they feel the same about that, but I was an only child, so it was like, this is the closest thing that I have to a sibling. Right. Like, to me, like, all of your guys' kids are like my nieces and nephews. That's how I feel about it. That's why, like, every Christmas I get them all a gift like they would be my nieces and nephews, because like I feel so close to you guys. But yeah, it was just, you had to me, I always felt like, man, I gotta level up. Like, all my cousins be doing all this stuff, and like I'm like 7 or 5 or 3 years younger than them. Like, I gotta whatever. I remember. Oh, this is a funny memory too. I feel like this is a great podcast just for memories. I remember. So let me preface it with this. I still to this day, when I write a song, I see it in visual form. And what I mean by that is that I see what the music video should be. I see what the stage should be. Like, even when I'm writing, I know, like, oh, if I say this word and I flick my wrist, or if I say this thing and I have something in the background of the music video, like, I see it all in visual form. So I see how that, like, translates. And even so when I'm writing, I always do that. But the reason I think that is because growing up and spending so much time with you guys always had the music video channel on.
Yeah.
Always. Like, this was during the era of time where, like, MTV was, like, big. Like, MTV came out with MTV2, VH1 hits. Like, what was the one? It was, like, Soul Tree or something like that. Like, everybody had their, like, music video channel. And we would just be flipping nonstop to all the different channels until basically we've seen everything, right? And we're, like, at that point, rewatching.
Yep.
And I remember being a kid just watching all these music videos all the time and just, like, loving it. And I think that's really, like, part of the birth of, like, how I began to love music so much.
Yeah.
But also, this funny memory is that we were all in the kitchen. It was just us cousins. So it was, and I think maybe one of your guys' friends from high school or something like that. So it was like you, Kay, Caleb. And we're watching the music video channel. Beyonce's song comes on, Baby Boy. Okay. And it's like, baby boy, you stay on my mind, right? And I didn't know the lyric that was being said. I just said what I thought the lyric was. And it's like, baby boy, you are so damn fine, right? And I said it, but I didn't know what the lyric was. Like, I was really young. I, at that point, was just like, oh, I heard a consonant and a vowel and just guessed what it would be.
Yeah.
Well, you guys turn around and you're like, did you just cuss? I'm like, I don't know. I think I was like 6 or 7. I was really young. I was really, really young. And I was like, no. Like, all, like, defensive. Like, no, I didn't cuss. What did I say? I don't know what I said. And I'm, like, freaking out because I'm basically freaking out because I think they're going to tell my mom, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, Lord, right? Completely freaking out. And they're like, yeah, you said, damn, there's a cuss word in that song or something like that. And I don't, you know, freaking out. They ended up not ratting me out because why would they rat me out? They're my cousins. But still, I was, like, so scared.
That's funny. Flash
Forward to, like, earlier where I said a cuss word because, like, you know, I think a tree branch landed on me or something like that, and I said, like, damn it or something like that. And of course, Whitney is the biggest ratter outer.
Oh man,
she literally I messaged her the other day because she was wearing this hoodie from college that she got from playing soccer, and the hoodie was supposed to be returned back to the school, but her and all her teammates didn't do that. The hoodies were so nice that they were like, we're just going to keep them. So they kept them. It's her favorite hoodie. Or it's not even a hoodie. It's like a big winter coat, right? So it's like perfect, right? Super expensive, whatever. But she basically got it for free. And she was wearing it in a video. And I said, you better watch out. ORU's going to come for your jacket. And she goes, if they come for my jacket, I'm ratting out the whole team. I'm like, what? I'm like,
I'm taking everybody down with me.
What a classic youngest to be like, if somebody rats me out, I'm ratting everybody else out. So anyway, so Whitney rats me out for saying the D word. And my aunt basically wallops me, tells my mom. My mom's upset with me. My mom's like, where did you learn this word? And I was like, Grammy.
I remember that.
I totally laid it on Grammy.
I remember that.
And I'm still, all of us are convinced that Grammy says the D word.
Yes.
Like, Grammy is like...
And she'll deny it.
Deny it.
All of us kids were like, oh, that's true. She does say that.
All of us grandkids have all... at one point, have heard Grammy say the D word, and Grammy's gonna be so upset that we just exposed her right now. Grammy is like the most sweet Christian woman.
Yeah.
Like, she's just the absolute best. But the one word in our family that has been around is crap, bull crap. And we've all basically said it since we were kids. I mean, like, I remember getting in trouble in, like, kindergarten for saying bull crap. And my mom's like, look, you can say that here, but you can't say it at school. That's something that you, me, and Grammy say. That's it, you know. was always like Grammy was the reason why I could say something. But
That's funny.
oh my God, that's funny. Okay, so what's my first musical memory of you? I think the first one that comes to mind, okay, so this is like the very first one, is our like holiday competition things. Mm-hmm. And the really one out of that comes to mind is the time when we sang the Destiny's Child one, and we did, what was it, Independent Woman.
I don't remember.
Yeah, hold on, I'll pull it up. It's Independent Woman. I'm
if you play it, I'll probably have a flashback.
Tell me what you think about me.
Yeah, I think it was that one.
Remember we Sally when I'm feeling lonely. When it's all over, please get up and leave. Remember it is like the shoes on my feet, I bought them, right? Yep. The whole thing. Oh, it's so freaking great.
And it's just all of us girl cousins.
Yes. So what?
Independent women.
Right. So people, right? Independent women with no boyfriends.
Like 7 years old.
Right. Exactly. I think that's probably one of my first memories. I'm sure I have so many more. I definitely remember the thing from church, for sure. I remember you guys being on the worship team too, and wanting to like, but that was more of like backing people up.
Yeah.
So I was trying to think of a memory of like where I really remember like you singing. You know what I mean? And I remember, man, those holiday events. So our I didn't get to explain it. Our family does. We get together, we alternate Thanksgiving and Christmas. So one year is our on year for Thanksgiving, the next year is our on year for Christmas. And we alternate like that so that spouses, you know, the whoever they marry can see their family on opposing years, right? And when we get together, there's, God, I don't know what we're at now, but we're at 60 plus.
Yeah.
60 plus people in one house all celebrating a holiday, right? There's a lot of us. And since we were kids, we would put on these kind of like competitions, right? And there would be different events and things to do. Like I remember for the longest time, croquet was one of them. They would, remember, you know croquet, right? Where you put the stick in the ground and then you have the loops and you have to hit the ball through the loops. Yeah. And we would do boys versus girls in that. Yeah. And in a sports setting, we would end up doing boys versus girls. Although, in my defense, I could hold my own with the boys for sure. But, and then we would also do, like some were like drawing competitions or like.
Yeah, your mom was good at organizing some sort of craft.
Yes, my mom was a teacher for most of my life, still in the education realm. So she's always been good with entertaining us kids at any age level.
Yeah.
And but the one that they did every year. So the other ones would kind of change on what it would be. But the one that they did every year was they would do like a music portion. And it would always be girls versus guys. And you would have to put in some musical performance together. Like a talent show. Yeah, talent show. And the girls won like every year. There was only one year that we lost. And it was because the boys wised up and did a worship song and literally led the whole family into worship, which, funny fact about that, this is, again, coming back to how good my memory was. First of all, they're leading worship, right, which they made sure that Blake was in the back because we all know the one person that's tone deaf in our family is Blake. Yeah. And Blake they basically told Blake, look, you just worship. Like, you close your eyes and lift your hands. So I remember him lifting his hands, and they had this fan in the living room, and he was so tall. His hand the whole time, I couldn't focus on anything else. Inches from just taking his fingers off. And I was like, how is anybody else not seeing this? Like, God. Anyways, it was just a really funny memory about that. But all of that to be said, I feel like that cultivated kind of who I am today, right? Like, I love music. Obviously, like, the family time and the connection between family and stuff, that's always there. But in terms of who I am as an artist and a musician, like, it all kind of cultivated in this environment of music, love of music. A lot of people in our family love music. Like, even if they don't really play or anything, they love music. Most of them sing. And then also the competition aspect came, right? Like, I was always trying to better myself, and because I always kind of felt like I was years behind you guys, right? Like, because I was the youngest. Like, that's how it goes. But yeah, it just kind of cultivated this whole little thing going on.
Yeah, it was cool. Lots of great memories.
Yeah, so many great memories. Okay, so in this new series, I have like a mini series within a series. And it's called Which One is Better?
Okay.
Okay? And basically what it is I'm going to rattle off 2 things, and we're just going to talk about which one is better. We might have opposing views.
Okay.
We might have the same views. Or we might have just off the wall, who knows, weird ideas.
Okay.
But we're just going to talk about it, okay?
Cool.
And you and I kind of have like a similar taste in music. We've kind of always been connected in that way of like just sending us stuff.
Yeah.
Although low-key, you were kind of crapping on Jasmine Sullivan the other day, and I was like, no.
I haven't been too impressed with her latest album. I'm telling you.
Her EP.
There was a lot of like,
Yeah, there was. I didn't know she had like a lesbian moment.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I didn't know all about that.
And then there's some tracks that are just like talking.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
sure
because
what's really going on.
Oh, that's because the EP though. So like if you take the talking tracks out that are like 15 seconds long, there's only 4 songs. So it's like an interlude.
Yeah.
It's like kind of weird. But that one song though with her is fire. The runs that they sing, you were like knocking it, but that song's fire.
I'm not digging this song, but I still love Jasmine Sullivan.
Jasmine
and I can
else.
always appreciate her voice. Her runs are just insane.
Stupid.
Insane.
She's like the Kim Burrell of our time.
Yeah.
Like she's insane.
True.
Anyways, all that to be said. Okay, so our first one for which one is better.
Okay.
I'm going to get this off the screen really quick. Is who is a better pop star? Mariah Carey or Whitney Houston?
Oh, man.
I think I know what side I'm on.
He's starting with a doozy.
I know. I think I know what side I'm on. We'll spit back and forth. I'll say this first.
So this isn't who's a better vocalist. It's
That's
who's
the
a better
next
pop
question.
star.
Who's a better pop star?
Okay, well then for me it has to be Mariah Carey.
Why?
Because I feel she's more of a true pop artist.
Oh, I want to dance with somebody.
Yes, I know, but Whitney Houston has also been like also soul and like R&B a little bit. And Mariah's to me stayed more true to pop. But also like I don't know, when you think about a classic like pop artist, to me I think about also like stage presence and like choreography and like the performance aspect of it, and I think Mariah Carey focused a little bit more on that.
I think I'm like totally opposite of you right now. Keep going though. This is why I love this. Because to me, Whitney had way better stage presence. Mariah, always her performances, and you and I have seen Mariah.
Yeah.
She just walks around on stage and does the hand thing. And then she has dancers behind her.
Yeah, she has a whole ensemble.
But Whitney's got the bounce. She got the bounce, and then she's singing, and she's walking across stage. She was breaking a sweat. She always be drenched.
She was always drenched.
She was doing all the stuff going on. Like, she, to me, and like, in kind of true pop star form, loves the art so much, it ends up killing her at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To death, she was the artist.
Yeah.
And to me, she had more, Mariah Carey to me, other than her first album, which still had like both of them always had like an R&B undertone, but the albums after, I can't remember what it was called. I always think of it as the #1 hits album because that's when I got into Mariah Carey, she already had her #1 hits album out. And so I listened to all the tops like Hero, all of those songs like on that. But I know the album was called something else, which we can look up if we need to. But her first album had more of that R&B feel. Like, what was that? What was that song? It was like, me and Mariah, and
maybe some pacifiers.
You know what I'm saying? Like that had an R&B feel to it, or like Honey, R&B feel to it, rather than like Whitney Houston came out and it was it was 80s.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And 80s was like the birthplace of what pop is even today.
Yeah.
Like the 80s really birthed that like Katy Perry pop, that teenage dream bubblegum pop like thing, rather than Mariah Carey sing just was a birthing place of R&B. Like Ariana Grande came from that, like all these different things. So,
but here is Mariah I mean, how many years later, and she's still putting out
She is.
pop songs.
She's still putting out records, like the Christmas album.
And collabing with people like Ariana Grande
Yep.
and stuff, and trying not to age and...
She got that waist trainer on lock.
Same pop celebrity she's always been.
Right,
so.
right. Salty as ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, okay, now let's move on to this then.
Okay.
Better vocalist. And I think we're going to have different views on this too.
I'm sure we will. Okay, well, you guys have to realize that I am like a huge Mariah Carey fan.
Right.
So I have to say Mariah Carey.
Right. You're a big Whitney fan though too, just not as big as Mariah.
Well, who's not a Whitney fan, right? Like,
you have to be a psychopath if you're not a Whitney fan.
Or tone deaf,
yeah.
or just completely
tone deaf.
So I love Mariah, and I went through a good several year phase where I wanted to be Mariah.
Yes.
I remember asking for my birthday. All I wanted was a butterfly belly chain. Like she had. And my mom got me one. She did.
Aunt Cindy.
She did. She didn't let me rock it with a bare belly.
Yeah.
But I was allowed to put it on over my shirts.
How lame.
And man, I love that thing.
Dang, wow.
So I love Mariah. I mean, there's been so many times in my life where she's made me a better singer because I'll take one of her songs and I'm like, I'm singing this song until I can sing it.
Ain't that the truth? I definitely will say both. I will say Mariah and Whitney were two people that inspired me to push the boundaries of my vocals and see what my vocals could do. And, you know, like a lot of my like belting came from the two of those, like them two and probably a little bit of Kelly Clarkson. It definitely came from that. Okay, we're going to pull up some Mariah songs.
All right.
And then we'll talk about what I think.
Classic.
But this R&B, Micah.
Hey, look at that belly chain. Look at that belly chain.
Yo.
That's it.
No. I will say, though, the 90s was all about them belly chains. Like, so. The little run in the. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Look, to Mariah Carey's benefit, she wrote every single song. A lot of people don't know this about Mariah Carey. She is an amazing songwriter, and she wrote all of this stuff.
It's crazy.
This is the one that does it for me for Mariah Carey.
Really?
This is one of them.
Okay.
This opening note?
Yeah.
Opening note?
It's coming. Hold on.
Here we go.
Wait for it.
I mean, what in the frick? And she's swinging on the tire in the music video. Swinging on that tire.
For me, Emotions.
Oh yeah, Emotions is.
I mean, the low notes she hits on that song,
The
and
range.
then the highs.
She's got the range.
Oh, man,
She has a bad attitude, but she's got the range. This groove in this song too is like, woo!
Yeah.
You always know a groove is good when you can like dance to it at a wedding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or when you literally cannot sit still when you listen to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Feeling emotions deeper than I've ever dreamed of. The little low note is like so.
Yeah.
Okay. We obviously know Mariah Carey has the hits, right?
Oh,
There's no doubt.
For sure.
She's got the banger schmangers, to say the least.
Do you remember when we went to go see her in person for her Christmas?
Yes.
I was trying special that she had.
I was trying to avoid this conversation because it tainted how I felt about her.
No, but the level of respect I had for her vocal ability.
Oh, her vocal. Yeah,
she was up there pregnant with twins.
Mm-hmm.
And she was hitting notes that, like, I can only dream of.
It was crazy.
And then I remember one song, she hit this high note at the end, and she just held it
for forever.
Forever. Like, the band stops playing, and she's just still going.
Yeah, she's definitely, her vocal chops have been unparalleled. Even what people used to say was the only person that could hold up to her, that could sing a note higher than her, was Prince.
Wow.
So she's definitely has been and will go down as history as one of the best vocals to ever
For sure.
grace us, for sure, our lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just totally amazing.
Right.
I remember when I got this album and I was bumping it at winter camp.
A great winter camp song. You're trying to get in the presence of Jesus.
Right. I was like, and then my in-house like leader was like, maybe you should just listen to Christian music for a month. I'm like, this album just came out. He's like, or We Belong Together. Do you remember We Belong Together?
Yeah.
We belong together. Where she's like running away in the wedding dress. Okay, so Mariah Carey, right now. Let's pull up Whitney though.
See, the thing is with Whitney is when you talk about a good vocalist, to me, it's not all ability.
It's not. That's what I was going to say. To me, Whitney's a better vocalist because she had the soul.
Yeah.
Not to say Mariah Carey don't have soul. She does.
Yeah.
But when Whitney sings, you are captivated.
Yeah.
When Mariah Carey
and
sings,
you feel it.
Oh, you feel it deep.
Feel it. Yeah.
You feel it from your butt to your chest.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Straight all through. Oh, it's fluid.
Yeah, it's
all
not a
through,
visual.
right?
Oh, God.
But Mariah Carey, you feel it, but most of the time, even with a song like Emotions, it's just happy. There's just like a go happy feel, rather than like even with Whitney, I Want to Dance Somebody, you feel like it's a happy song, but like it's also like
Man,
I don't have
this person.
Yeah, like I miss this person. I want to dance with somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I'm down. Like, let me forget about the crappy work day. Like, let me just dance with something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you feel it. Like, if Mariah Carey was like, I don't want to poo-poo on Mariah Carey because Mariah Carey's a legend, but like, there's degrees, right? And like Mariah Carey and Whitney are up here, and I just feel like taking it to that next dimension. That's what Whitney does for me. And I think when I don't know if you watched her documentary, but there was a lot of pain and thing that had happened to her in her childhood and all these different things, and I think it really came from that in a very organic kind of way. But okay, we'll start with this one. I mean, even though synths are still timeless.
Yeah.
Come on. And she hits me with the woo! That little thing.
I'm actually doing this song at the elementary spring program.
Really?
Yeah.
This song is, I want to dance with somebody. This is why I did this on American Idol. This was my jam. So we have that. Then you have, Lord Jesus.
Yes.
I have nothing.
Yeah, as soon as you hear that little just piano part, it like takes
and then
you
when
to a place.
she holds it, hold up. Let's see if we can find it. Stay in my arms if you're there. She never oversang. She sang runs. She don't oversing.
I've heard some live moments.
Okay, we're not talking about live. We're talking about in studio.
Okay.
Studio.
Okay, studio recordings were good. Yes.
Here we go. Oh, it's even early. Make me close
So good.
First of all, can we just talk about The Bodyguard? What a great movie.
Yeah. Oh.
A treasure. A hidden treasure. Every time
Awesome.
it comes on TV, I'm like, I'm watching it.
Yeah.
It's such a good.
For sure.
Okay, then this is actually, we get the Mariah and the Whitney. Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah.
You remember it was in the movie
Prince of Egypt?
Prince
right?
of Egypt. That's what I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
One of the great ones. I'm going to try to find one of my favorite ones ever. I found it.
Oh.
There might be miracles. I think we sang this together one time.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I think we sang it for a Christmas thing. I know we've sung songs off of Mariah Carey's Christmas album. We've done that a bunch.
We have.
This is one of my favorite ones. Oh, there's two. That I think is so underrated for her songs. I got the you want.
Yep.
I got the things that you need. I mean, this song. To make you drop to your knees, 'cause I'm the queen of the night. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Her little, oh yeah, oh yeah.
That's awesome.
That opening line, don't make no difference if I'm wrong or I'm right. It's like, isn't that how every woman feels? And then this one.
Or I'm every woman, yes.
Woo!
And how she starts it off slow like this. Woo.
This is the old school version of lo-fi. Like starting it slow like this and then kicking in the beat.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And to sing these words.
Whatever you want.
It's all in me.
Look, You're like, you wanna make your husband feel some things for you? You say whatever you want, whatever you need. I'll do it. I like when she sings this. 'Cause I'm... The way she puts that vibrato right there.
Yeah.
I'm... me. Woo! It's all in... Then she hits it with a belt. That run is like that's what I'm saying though. Hold up. She holds that note out, right? She can sing runs.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? But like she does it in such a way that is like
It's tasteful.
oh,
Yeah.
it's tasteful and it just makes you feel it. Like you're just like,
Yeah.
She had that da 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 da, which is a half step, which should in your ear feel so uneasy,
Yeah.
right? That half step feel is Jaws. Na 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 na
Yeah.
na 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 na. Right?
Yeah.
It should make you feel a division within yourself, right?
Yeah.
She sings it in such a way, and then ends it with a. That little thing is like, what in the world? See, I'm already convincing you. I'm convincing you to go Whitney now.
I don't know. For me, I still think Mariah's like the technically better vocalist.
Okay.
I know I'm gonna get some haters for this, but that's my opinion.
That's my prerogative.
But I love Whitney,
I
and
know.
and they
It's
have
hard-
different strengths.
It's a hard which one's better.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
they're
an easy
always
one.
pinned against each other.
Yeah, they are. So are. I'm actually
really
glad
are.
that they did a song together because I think that kind of squashed
Yeah.
this like media beef that was made up or maybe it wasn't made up. Maybe it was happening and whatever. But
Yeah.
the song that they did together was just so amazing. And then the two of them, these two incredible vocalists like coming together and just singing
Yeah.
this. When You Believe is like, to me, one of the best quote unquote Christian songs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, wow, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move on.
Okay.
We'll put a pin in because I'm sure we could go back and forth about Whitney and Mariah because Whitney, I
Yeah.
mean, there's just so many things to divulge in there. But let's move on to this.
Okay.
Best I don't want to say piano artist, but an artist that plays keys. So we're going to go with
Okay.
who's better? Alicia Keys or Sarah Bareilles?
Oh man.
This was hard for me. This was real hard
This
for me.
is very hard.
Because to me, freaking Sarah Bareilles is not the Waitress album, although the Waitress album, I haven't listened to that through, was really good supposedly. But her Little Black Dress album.
Yes. That
album
bomb.
is so freaking
Yes.
good. I saw her do it live and it was
Yeah, I did too.
amazing. Amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
you go first. I went first in the last one. You go first. I'll start pulling up some songs too.
Oh man. Do I have to pick?
I know, right?
Alicia Keys. I remember buying a boombox
I remember this.
back in the day, and I got a demo tape of Alicia Keys' like hit song. I think it was it Girlfriend
Okay.
or something back on her first no, it wasn't that album. It was the A minor, songs in A minor.
Oh, here we go. Girlfriend?
That was it. I think that was the song that was on there.
From this album? This one, I mean,
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yep.
Woo! That piano comes in. You're
So
like,
good.
with you.
So
This to
good.
me goes back to what do you like more, soul or pop?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
sometimes like again with the Mariah and Whitney thing, I was more the soul, right?
Yeah.
But this is a
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
And she goes, loving you, darling.
Yep. So good.
I mean,
So, I don't know. For me, Alicia Keys, like, takes it home. Like,
Yeah.
we go way back.
that's
And
what's
it's
hard
one
for
of
me,
she's
too.
one of the people that really inspired me with my songwriting and with
Keys
playing
playing.
piano as well. And I've performed many of her songs throughout the years. I just love her. But Sarah Bareilles too. I've performed some of her songs.
know.
Man, she's an incredible songwriter, incredible pianist. Alicia Keys, a lot of people probably don't know how good of a pianist she is. She was classically trained.
she's
and
legit.
she's phenomenal.
Phenomenal. So that's really her first instrument, if we're honest.
Yeah.
Her first instrument
for
is
sure.
definitely keys, and then not to knock her vocals, but she is a piano player.
For sure.
Sarah Bareilles is not classically trained. Actually, she taught herself most of the things, which is crazy that she plays half the jazz chords that she plays.
Yeah.
Which blows my mind. I got like a songbook from her because I was like, I'm gonna learn some Sarah Bareilles songs. Like,
Yeah.
I bet you I can learn them.
Yeah, lots
Get
of
this
jazz
book.
roots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get this book and I'm like, what in the frick kind of chords are these? A flat
So
6
cool.
plus 9. Like, what in the
She
heck?
has this one song. I'm probably getting too much detail now, but she has this one song where she's in A major in the verses and A minor in the chorus.
Oh, the parallels.
And, or maybe it's the other way around.
Yeah.
But oh man, it's just like blows
That
your
parallel minor will,
mind.
this is also a spinoff of what we're talking about. This is actually not even the artist that we're talking about, but Kimbra. Have you ever gotten into Kimbra stuff?
No.
Kimbra's the girl that sings that now you're just somebody that I used to know. She's the girl in that sings the
Okay.
girl part. So I got really into her stuff. She has this song that flips back and forth between the parallel minors. I'm like, oh my
wow.
god. I'll show you it after this. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
send it to me.
Okay, so one of my obviously we know this Alicia. I mean, good God.
I could listen to this all day, every day.
You know how many times I played this at a restaurant? People just like flip out. It's timeless. That's the thing. It's timeless.
It is.
Like that, and I think that's
and she
the
wrote
thing.
this when she was like 12 or something.
Oh.
I've heard her say. It's crazy.
F off, Alicia.
Crazy.
Like F off. Da-da. For the fortune, right? Okay.
So good.
We all know that that's an amazing song. I even like Dragon Days.
Yep, I do too.
Dragon Days.
That whole album is
I did
fire.
this song as a I took the lyrics of this song and did an analyzation of it for English class.
Wow.
That I use the Dragon Days for it. But one of my favorites is the sample in this. You don't know my name. This was one of my favorite
Good.
ones. And she's in that music video and they're like meeting in the hall.
Yes.
And she's a waitress. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like, oh man. This was just a vibe to
Yeah.
me. Karma was good too. Okay, so we got all these like classic ones, right? To me, the reason why I love Alicia is again, it's like it takes me back.
Yep.
Right to that time,
Yeah.
to those memories. Like I remember bumping this in the car with you guys.
Yeah.
Like it just takes me back to all of this. Like, oh man, like
Yeah.
that kind of feeling. The problem is after like this album,
Yeah.
The Diary of
Well,
Alicia.
Okay, the Unplugged was phenomenal.
Yeah, but Unplugged is just the
It's
last
just-
two albums.
Yes. But then this one,
Lesson-
she
Lesson
had some
Learned was
good
good.
ones here.
She has some okay ones.
She had Superwoman.
Superwoman was good,
Come on.
but it's not notable.
Like
though.
You'll Never See Me Again. That one's
Like
good.
You'll Never See Me Again was good.
I love Teenage Love Affair.
To me, my favorite one on here was Lesson Learned. That was the most
Okay.
popular one. My heart. And then John Mayer comes in on the guitar. Fire.
Yeah.
You know what actually is one of my favorite Alicia Keys songs? I don't know if you know this. I wonder if it's on here. I don't think it is Alicia Keys. James Bond.
Oh,
You
yeah.
remember when she did that with Jack White?
I can't think of what it was called.
What in the heck is going on? Jack.
I love the
This
New York song too. That she did with Jay-Z.
This song, and she's like, yeah! That's what she really gets. This song
So
had me
dramatic.
feeling
Yeah.
it. Okay, when did she come in though? It's like a long.
Yeah.
It's a vibe. That song's a vibe. Okay, so that's the struggle with me for Alicia Keys is I feel like it stops.
Yeah, as she progressed.
Although I forgot about
Empire
this.
State of Mind.
Empire State of Mind.
Right.
I mean, that was big.
That was huge. That piano from that music video.
And this version of it is actually so underrated. Like, this piano version that she did, it got big because Jay-Z took it and, you know, whatever, and then he took the chorus or whatever.
Or even Sleeping with a Broken Heart. Like, she had some good ones.
She had some good
ones.
ones.
But as each album went on, the number of hits became less and less.
Yeah. And, like, to me, like, Girl on Fire was, like, eh.
Yeah,
I didn't really love Girl on Fire. Again, I feel like I'm crapping on Alicia Keys, which how can you? Okay, so now we're going to go to Sarah, right? This is the thing with me. For me.
She's gotten better.
She's gotten better with time.
And better, yeah.
And
I mean, she was good in the beginning, but
she was one of the first EPs that I ever bought. Actually, I didn't even have to buy it. On my iPod. I got my iPod like for Christmas, and she was the first one on iTunes, like one of the very first songs I ever put on, because iTunes used to do this thing where they would give a song away for free. They would promote a song,
like free song of the week.
Free song of the week, yeah. And she with Love Song. And it wasn't called Love Song then. It was a little EP. Oh, Once Upon Another Time is such a good album. Okay, hold on. It was a little EP then, and it was, I don't think it was this one either. But anyways, it had Love Song on it, Bottle It Up, One Sweet Love.
So good.
And like, Between the Lines. Okay? And
so good.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
The groove in this. It's like something Carole King would have done today. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, and they tell me to breathe easy for a while. I remember singing this in my room. Like, just going
for sure.
in. I was like, I'm not gonna write you a love song. Like, just...
Have you heard her say the story behind this one?
No.
She said the what do you call it, recording company or whatever that she's signed on with for this album wanted her to write a love song for her album, and she didn't want to do it.
I remember this. Yeah.
So finally, she's like, all right, I'll write you a freaking love song. And she titles it Love Song. But it's like so anti-love song, but it's a big like middle finger to them.
What a
and it was
classic
their biggest hit from the album.
Right, what a classic artist, okay? Like, to be like, oh, is that what you want, label? Okay. Like, here it is, up yours, you know? This is still one of my... I don't know if it would be top 10, but it's probably for sure top 20 for me, albums. Because it has that. It has...
I love this song.
This song, which is one of my all-time favorite songs. This is me to a T. Like, this song is just like who I am as a person. Yeah. The way it comes in, too.
Yeah.
It's too many days I haven't done yet.
Or Gravity.
Don't even get me started on Gravity. I still sing Gravity.
Dude,
I almost
who
sing
can
it for
listen
American
to
Idol.
Gravity without being wrecked?
I mean, come on. That just the piano.
Yeah.
And it's like her and a cello. That's it.
So what beautiful.
Something always brings me back to you.
The lyrics.
Never takes too long. I mean, woo!
Yep.
Oh my God. And then,
yeah.
between the lines.
Ugh.
Between the lines. I
Another
mean,
one, just
what?
from the piano. You already takes you there.
Oh my god. This whole album, okay, is
Yep.
just something else, okay? Then this is just live.
Yep.
Kaleidoscope Heart
Yep.
Ooh.
She raised the bar.
raises the bar.
So good.
Uncharted. Fire. This, oh my god, this has so many songs in it. Oh,
I know.
I cannot right now. I'm getting pumped.
I know.
I'm getting really pumped. Okay, we have that. The pop melodies in this is like, what in the heck is happening? Coffee's in me down across the table while I look outside. Right?
Love it.
Then we got like these little. This basket case was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
It was so good. It's an open D tuning, which gives this like the best part of the guitar is when everything is open. So when you do an open D tuning, everything is just open and it just creates this like harmonics within itself on the instrument. Oh, so good. Anyways, there's tons and tons. Okay, then we go to the Blast on Rest.
This is one of the best albums of all time.
She hits, is it this one?
So good.
Chasing the sun.
Yes.
Chasing, goes to the 7th verse and then goes to the 1. Oh, and it starts with, there's a little old city, right?
Yeah.
So, we're together and living. I'm getting so hyped I can't even like sing. Like I'm like
I'm gonna be listening to these albums for like the next week. It's just gonna be on repeat now.
Sure. Oh, cemetery. Okay, so wasted. Always be chasing the sun. The 7th. Oh. God, Lord. It's so good. And then obviously we have Brave, which was like the hit.
Yes.
Right? Which basically sounded like Roar.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, very similar.
It's in the same key, too. Which Brave's a great song, but we all know that like that's the single off the record, right?
Sure.
Manhattan.
Oh, so
this
good.
song. This
So
is like
good.
Gravity 2.0 to me.
Yep.
Oh. I. The way she comes in on
good.
this too. You can have been hiding. Like the woo! Golly. Oh my god. It's just like, did she listen to Carole King before writing this album?
I even love Eden.
Oh, Eden's one of my favorite ones too.
It's such a unique song.
First of all, you saw this performance live, right? Mm-hmm. When she has those 2 cello players and they're singing harmony.
No, they didn't do this song at my concert.
Oh,
they did not do Eden.
They did it at mine.
I know, I was bummed.
They opened with
love
this.
Song.
They opened with this.
Man.
And they were like this. And they're doing the cello things and they're singing the harmonies with it. It was bad.
Or Island. God.
Oh, Island's so good too.
Go all day.
And I Choose You.
Yep.
I mean, Little Black Dress too. My little black dress on.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Then we have, that's a live album.
The live album is so good.
She had, hold on. This is all, hold on. That's all Waitress. But she had this acoustic little album in between all of that, which was so underrated. She wrote this in like, the time signature I think was like something in 12. It was like, what in the heck?
Yeah, this is a good one. The Once Upon Another Time.
Completely a cappella. And then comes in. I mean, come on.
So good.
To me, if we're looking at breadth of work, Sarah's got it for me.
Yeah.
If we're looking to, like, I don't know why I keep holding this as to put my emphasis on, but if we're looking at breadth of work, it's Sarah. But if we're looking at me wanting to remember and like nostalgia, I'm going Alicia.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? I mean, even there's some nostalgia for me with Love Song. Like that album has like
Yes,
nostalgia to me,
for
but
sure.
there's it doesn't go back to this like place.
Yeah.
Right? It goes back to like, oh my God, it makes me happy. I'm so excited I'm listening to this again. But in terms of like consistent work,
yeah.
I mean, I still think she's so underrated. Like
I do too.
like the Little Black Dress album, I know it's not called that. Blessed and Rest, I think is what it's called. But that album should have got so much more push.
Yeah.
So much more push.
Yeah.
And the album before that, so much more push.
For sure.
But in terms of just great, incredible songs.
Yeah.
Oh man, and Alicia has that too. Alicia's got the great, incredible songs, but we're talking about like we're comparing right now like hits and all these different things. You know, it's kind of which one is better. Kind of has a salty stab, but in reality, these artists are both incredible as keys players and as women.
Yeah,
you know, I probably shouldn't have put two women together. We do that enough in society, but still, I mean, both are incredible artists. But holy crap!
Yeah, I'd have to say Sarah takes it overall for me.
All right, last one. We'll make this one quick. Who's a better worship leader?
Uh-oh. Me or you?
You. I'm saying you. I've been out of the game. I've been out of the game for way too long. It is totally you. I will hand the torch off you. Tasha or Darlene?
Wow.
So Tasha Cobbs, Darlene Scheck.
Again, how do you compare those two?
How do you? You're basically going new school, old school. I already know what my answer is because this
well, and you're going gospel and contemporary worship.
True. Maybe I should have did Darlene versus Israel.
Well, even that.
But at least that's the same era.
Kind of. You started a little later, but yeah.
Well, let's stick to Darlene and Tasha. I'm going Darlene because Darlene is who I grew up on.
Okay.
Also, to me, Darlene always takes the high route. I mean, like, literally every song, you're like, who in the frick is up on that part? And it's Darlene every single time. Like, Israel be, like, trying to take some high route, and Darlene's above him. Like, it's like, what in the heck is happening?
Yeah.
And not to say this about Tasha, because I know Tasha is very spirit-led. A girl that I used to know from Nashville, Anna, she backs her up. And they're just going. But yeah, Tasha be killing it. And her team behind her be killing it as well. And I think really what it comes back to for me is just what I grew up on. Like, I grew up on Shout to the Lord. I mean, that is literally the #1 streamed song in Christian music ever.
Yeah, I believe it.
Like, at one point, it was like, I think it was like back in the day when really music, you know, especially Christian music, wasn't making that much. It was making like over $1 million a year. Wow. I think even more than that. I mean, I think I'm really underrepresented. Let's see if we can find Shout to the Lord. Oh, spelling her name is always a struggle. Look at that face. Look, what a 90s album cover. It's mastered so loud. First of all, I don't remember this intro.
I don't either.
What's this version? I think it's this one.
This is it.
This is the one.
Yeah.
This is the one with the group choir.
Yeah.
The gospel choir in the back.
So good.
And then the key change.
Yep.
I mean, that's just like really hard.
Yeah.
Really hard to top for me. And then not to mention all of the Hillsong stuff. I mean, Hillsong has always been the group that I go to first on like Christian music.
For sure.
Always. But I do love Tasha though. I don't want to knock her because I really do love her.
Well, I had the pleasure of seeing Tasha in person
Break Every Chain.
About a year ago. She was touring with Bethel, and she came out and did her own little like opening thing before they came out. And man, as soon as she starts singing, you are just like taken in
Lord.
to the throne room, like right away. Like the anointing on her voice is insane. Obviously, her vocal ability. I think almost every song she has, she sings it in both octaves.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
like, what in the heck?
Just because she
what
can.
in the heck? Yeah.
You
You're like,
know?
why? Why do this to yourself?
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, man, it's so hard. They're so
really hard.
different. But Darlene is like, she's amazing. And she's such an amazing worship leader that I really
Yes.
respect. Like, every time I've seen her do live performances and stuff, she just like really leads the people in worship in such a good way. She's not just a, karaoke singer. Like,
yeah, she's not just singing. She's like, and she always has like, somehow she manages to pinpoint the room. Mm-hmm. And has like a word for the room within worship. Yeah. I mean, those live performances that you like watch on YouTube and stuff, I mean, it's just whoa.
Amazing.
Absolutely amazing. I'm going Darlene. Who are you choosing?
Worship leader, I'd have to say Darlene.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard.
I'm sorry, Tasha. I love
Tasha,
you.
we love you though. We really do love you though, but it's really just going back to me. It's just going back to where it all started for me, and it all started. But let's not knock Tasha, because break every chain.
So good.
Give me it, girl. What is it? Power.
So good.
Anyways, we're gonna edit on that. Thank you, cuz, for coming over.
My
really,
pleasure.
really appreciate it. Seriously, it's so fun. You're one of the first people I've had on this podcast. So, of Living Like a G. So I'm so
Thanks
excited
for
to
having
have
me.
you. Yeah. And your which ones are better are speculative at best. I'm just kidding.
We can agree to disagree.
We actually had two of them we voted the same. You know what I mean? But no, I'm just kidding. But thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Always love your support. You're literally one of the best cousins ever that a girl could ask for. So. And friend. Seriously, beyond cousin.
Likewise.
So, love you so much, and tune in next week. Peace. Bye.
Yeah, yeah. Wanna